In the past 2 weeks, we've been focusing on walking more and sweating more. And I'd like to acknowledge you for all the hard work that you've put in. Did you have to run through more clothes than usual? As we do more action, it's equally important to balance it out with getting more deep rest. That's right. This week, we'll be focusing on our sleep. You know from your own experience that if you get enough sleep, your life looks better. You make better decisions, you have better memory and better concentration, you feel more energized, and you also are able to manage stress better. And what's amazing, your immune system works better. As we face another flu season, one research study that took 153 healthy men and women tracked their sleep duration and quality. And the researchers were really mean to these people. They took a virus that causes a common cold called rhinovirus, and they put the virus into their nose. And the researchers were just looking at who develops the common cold and who won't. People who reported sleeping less than 7 hours a day were 3 times more likely to develop a common cold than those who were sleeping at least 8 hours a day. The sleep quality was also important. Those who reported low sleep quality were more than 5 times more likely to develop a cold than those with high sleep quality. Another fascinating experiment took 25 healthy young men who were just about to get their flu shot. Half of them were sleep deprived. They got only 4 hours of sleep that night, just before the flu shot, while the other half got their 8 hours of sleep. And the antibodies were only half in sleep-deprived men compared to those who had their full night of sleep. That shows us that sleep does something magical. What is it about sleep? Well, the secret is the melatonin secretion. Melatonin is a hormone that's secreted when you're asleep and when it's completely dark. Melatonin has multiple functions in our body. It regulates the circadian rhythms. It's important for our immune system. It's good for our mitochondria that are the powerhouse of the cell. It has antioxidant properties. It helps against cancer. It even helps manage your energy better. Instead of storing the extra energy in the form of fat, in the white adipose tissue, the brown fat is able to release the extra energy in the form of heat. And melatonin helps with that. It's also good for your heart, and it keeps you young. So how can you make sure that your melatonin levels are sufficient and as high as possible? The secret is sleeping at least 8 hours a day, which is a general recommendation that works for most people. Some people need even more. Some people need 9 hours a day, let's say. And there are some people who need slightly less, 7.5 hours, let's say. And the second secret is in timing of your sleep. When do you go to bed? Are you a night owl, or do you go to bed early? That's what counts. Because if you go to bed early, then you will get all the yellow area under the curve in terms of melatonin secretion. But if you burn the midnight oil and go to bed at 3 a.m., you get only half of the melatonin secretion. So we use a magical medical device that's called the alarm clock. That's right. You can set your bedtime to 9 to 10 p.m. and make sure that you sleep at least 8 hours a day. So the action items for this week is making sure that you sleep at least 8 hours per night every single day, and that you go to bed early by 9 to 10 p.m. And I hope that you will experience the wonderful Bible promise: when you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. Thank you, and see you next week.